Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a 2019 Toyota Tundra for you this time. We're doing a leveling kit for the front, bringing it up 2.5 inches, something like that. It's a real basic install as far as suspensions go. So if you're handy with tools, this is the kind of thing you can do on a weekend. If you're not really good with tools, have a professional do it. I recommend alignment after it. So if you do it yourself, plan on getting it aligned for longevity of your tires and your suspension components and safety. So I hope you like it. Stay with us until the end. It's a short one, so if you can, hang out. I will see you in the end. Alright guys, so we're doing spacers in the front of this Tundra. Just a leveling kit. Really basic spacers. Now these are aluminum. That's it. It's just the spacer. Goes bolted in. I'll take you along on it. Alright, so there it is. It's factory look of it. ¿Cuánto medía? Mídelo otra vez, Pablo. 36 3/4. Mídelo. 36 3/4. Factory height. Alright guys, so on this one we've got to remove steering tie rod ends. The bolt for the sway bar link, that way we can spring out of there. Obviously we're gonna have to remove the coilover shock. Up at the top, 4 bolts. Down at the bottom, single bolt. We have to remove the ball joint nut. We will remove the brackets that hold the brake lines, the sensors. On this one we're gonna go ahead and leave the caliper on there. We don't need to drop it. And we'll wiggle the suspension around to place that in, take it out and whatnot. I don't have my camera mount, so I won't be able to show you the actual work. I'll take you, step by step. First, we're going to take this off. We're going to loosen this off and break the joint on there. And then I think we'll go ahead and take that one off. So we got that out. Next we're gonna do the nut, the bolt for the shock and the 4 nuts at the top. We already got this loose and knocked it, hammered it loose or broke it loose. Took the brackets for the lines off so that we can get some play there. And oh yeah, I gotta take this one off. 10mm.
So now we took the ones off the top, so what we're gonna do is split this joint open. I'll need both hands, so I'll bring you back for that. Alright, so we got the bolt out of there and the 4 nuts out of there, so we need to wiggle this out. What I have to do is wedge this suspension down like this. So wedge it down and then, you know, slap it out of place. But it's a two or three-handed kind of thing. Alright, so here's the shock. Now these adapters, they go on here. They only go on one way. If you put them in the wrong way, any other way, they don't go in. The holes are guided with relation. These marks up here, this is where the shock used to face out. We're gonna have to turn it. So this is where it's gonna face out. Then once we mount this piece on here, we'll take a big pipe wrench and turn this so that this is at I guess it'd be 90-degree turn. So take this bad boy, mount it again, this facing out. These bolts coming in from the top instead of these bolts that stick out. We bring in bolts from the top down. Alright guys, so we got the shock slid into place. 4 bolts on top of there, just snugged up. We got the bolt through but not tightened. See, the nut's not there. So we gotta put the nut on there and tighten. There we go. It is a 22, I believe, on this. Snap. Alright, now we're going to torque these and torque those at the bottom. Need both hands for that one. Alright, so we got tightened up the bottom bolt with the nut. 22 millimeter. I think I said 21, they were 22. These are some 16 millimeter head bolts. Tighten those up. Next we will bring the lower control arm up using the jack. Slide this into the ball joint. I'm gonna bring a bar to bring this down so I can put the castle nut on there. Again, it's the kind of thing I need two hands for. I'll bring it back. Alright, so we got this in there. Had to use some wedging power, so use the jack to bring the lower control arm up, but then the spring has the tension on it, so the rest we have to bring down. We use a pry bar. What I did is stick this in here like that, get a good feel for it, and then just spring this down. You can see how we still even got some play. Then the rest we'll just use this to tighten up, close up this ball joint. Alright, so we got the castle nut in there, and just slide the pin into place. No, we didn't. There we go, it's locked into place. Next we will put the sway bar bolt in there, and the tie rod end right there onto the knuckle. After that we'll put all the lines back in their place. Alright, so we got everything done. We got the the sway bar linkage. The lower shock bolt passes through, holds on with a nut. Top bolts for the shock. Upper knuckle ball joint nut. Now all we have left is the bracketry for the lines, and that's what I'll do next. I'll bring you back after that. There it is, guys. Huge difference. So this kit is 2.5, and we measured it up. The lift turned out to be about 2 1/4, 2.5 inches. Actually, Chicarcas measured it, so who knows if it's right or wrong. But a lot better looking. There she is, a lot better looking. Looks nice and even now. Also, the gaps are about the same on the fenders anyway. A lot better looking. There she is, guys. See you on the next one.
Well, there it is, guys. I hope you liked it. Like I said, as far as suspensions go, it's a basic install. What you actually add is just those spacers, and it takes, you know, a lot of parts disassembly to get them in place properly. With suspension work, you always want to be careful. So like I said, if it's not something that you've done before, if it's not in your wheelhouse, just have a professional do it. It takes a couple of hours for a professional to do it correctly. It may take you quite a bit longer. And like I said, if you're not really familiar with suspension work, stay away from it. There are things that are endemic to a suspension setup that can get you hurt. So like I said, if you're not handy with suspension, stay away from it. If you want to try it yourself, you know, maybe look at a couple of videos that are more of a how-to video than this, and come back to us, watch some more of our other stuff. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll see you on the next one.